Hello gorgeous people, welcome back, welcome to my channel. So I'm going to be showing you how you can revamp your wig. If you have any wig that looks like this, please don't throw it away because you can still make something good out of it. I received this wig and I'll be working with my stylist to turn it better, to make it better. Like, see how tangled it is. It's supposed to be a coily wig, but I really do not know what happened and how became this tangled. The frontal is even still intact, though it doesn't look so perfect, but of course before you throw it away you can make something good out of it. Don't throw your old wigs away, it can still work. So the first thing we are going to do is to detangle this wig. Like you can see, get a good detangling brush. If you don't have this particular brush, just look for a brush that can really detangle a wig or curls properly, because you need to comb it out. Don't be afraid of what is going to happen, but you need to comb it out to detangle it. If you don't detangle it, the wig will just be like that and it will stay like that and nothing will happen to the wig. So you need to detangle it as much as you can. So she's just working in sections, trying to separate one from the other. And this is another thing you must do. You have to be patient. You can't rush it. You can't just brush it all through from the top to the bottom. Just not to bore you guys, I have to fast forward this, but we worked in sections, like layer by layer, brushing it all out one after the other. And of course this is the top layer. Now this is the front that we've gotten to. Next is to wash the wig, and we put some apple cider vinegar and some shampoo. You need to take proper care of your wig. So if you can use the shampoo you use for your hair, it's also good, because if you've spent a whole lot of money on your wigs, you should also take care of it accordingly. So we're just like using the shampoo in some water and dipping the wig into it to wash it. This wig was dirty, guys. It was dirty. You can see how the water was in the beginning. You see how it looks at the end. It was really dirty. Like I said, I don't know what happened to the wig. Mine is just to work with it. You have to be gentle so that you don't rip the hair out. So just put it in water, swish it, rub it gently. It has to be like tender, loving care. Don't rush the process. Anytime you're taking care of a wig, you have to be careful. If you can see the water, you can see how brown that water is. You have to wash it properly, and you have to use products, and don't like just say you're trying to leave out some products. You have to use as much as you can to make sure it's properly clean. So even when you come to the frontal, you have to be gentle with the frontal. And this is just applying more shampoo to the cap, because of course the cap too was dirty. It was really dirty. And just gently use your hands. Don't wash like you're washing a cloth. Just use your hands like gently to rub on the cap, to rub on the frontal. If you tug on it, it's going to pull, and you don't want your hair pulling or shedding. Of course, after you finished washing it properly, it's time to rinse it, and you rinse it with a lot of water to make sure that all the shampoo and the apple cider vinegar that you applied gets out. The apple cider vinegar basically just helps to get rid of all the dirt, and that's our washed wig. The next step is to apply some conditioner to this, and it's going to be saturated in conditioner. Like when I'm doing my wigs this way, I don't leave out anything. I make sure I use a lot of products to make sure that this hair or the wig is getting some good and tender loving care, like I said. So don't you go mising on your products. I know you might think, oh, you're using so many products. Don't use too much at the same time, but of course you know when you have done justice to this. So just apply a lot of products. Let it saturate through every single line, every single bit of this wig. Let it go all around and make sure that everything gets the conditioner. The conditioner really is to make it soft and manageable. And as you're doing this, you're detangling with your fingers too, to make sure, just the way you would do your hair normally, just to make sure that everything gets saturated with the conditioner. so that there's nothing left out. If you don't do a particular part, it will be obvious by the time your wig is dry, and you see that that part is not as soft as the other part. So as much as you can, make sure that every single part gets saturated and is soaked through with the conditioner of your choice. After conditioning, we are not done yet. I would advise you to put this into a plastic bag, and I'm just using this white bag here. If you can use a Ziploc bag, anything you want is totally fine, so that it can deep condition properly, just the way you would deep condition your hair. Like I said, just tie it very well and leave it for about an hour at least, and leave this in room temperature. After 1 hour at least, some people can even leave this for the whole night and come back to it the next morning. It depends on you, but leave this in room temperature or even your fridge. Sometimes I leave it in the fridge as well. So we are coming back to it now after we've left it for about an hour, just to make sure that the conditioner has worked properly. And of course, you rinse it again to get rid of all the conditioning that you've done to it. You have to rinse it properly and make sure that there's nothing left. After this, I'm going in with my mousse. You can use any mousse of your choice, but I'm using this Motions hair mousse here, and we're going to use the mousse all over our wig as well. You know the drill now. Just apply it everywhere, top, bottom, in between, not just the top. You have to go in, guys. You have to make sure this hair gets all the love she can get everywhere, like everywhere in totality. Going into the strands, into the wefts, and next we are going back with this detangling brush to brush it from top to bottom and make sure that there's no single part that has not been detangled. Don't worry, your wig is going to be fine, but of course you have to do this gently. Don't just brush briskly. Like I always say, you have to be patient. If you are trying to do this, you have to be patient. It doesn't really take so much time. You can always do this in your spare time. Do a part, come back to it, do something else, come back. That's the way I always work whenever I want to work with any of these things. So with this process, just get your detangling brush from top to bottom and brush it properly. You have to be gentle, guys. Gentle. After that is done, you're going to go in with your hair treatment oil. I'm using this argan oil. You can use any oil of your choice as usual, but just make sure that it's of a good quality and is a good product. And the same thing is going to be done here. I'm going to apply the oil all over the wig to make sure it's well saturated. Be generous with your products as much as you can. And next we're going with a rat tail comb just to brush off the tips and make sure, of course, that it is detangled already. After you've done this, you want to trim off the tips, because of course you'll have had some hair come out of the tips and you don't want to have all that like dripping and all that. So just cut off the tips and make sure that you don't have anything that does not look so comely and good. So this method is just to make sure that there's like extra bounce at the tips and to keep the hair in tip-top shape before you dry it. And that's it. The next step, of course, just dry your hair in sun. If you don't have sunlight, you can just leave it out to dry. Whenever it's dry, you come back to it. And that's it, guys. That is the finished wig. Of course, it looks better now. Is it not better than how it was before? That's the same wig, guys. That's the same wig. Trust me, that's the same wig. that's the same wig. So of course it looks a lot better now. That's why I said don't throw your wigs yet. Something good can come out of it. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys. Kindly follow me on Instagram and share this video. I'll see you in subsequent ones. Bye.